Aloha, how's it? Today we are talking all about what's missing from your LinkedIn profile and how you can shore it up. So, more on that in a minute. How was your weekend? I always like to ask. We went surfing in town, which is how everyone refers to Waikiki on the island. Then we hit up the Beyond Van Gogh exhibit in Honolulu. It's like this immersive art exhibit experience with some friends and family. So, it's really cool if you're in a city and you see it coming to you, it's worth checking out. Super fun, especially even with the kids, even with the kids. So now it's time for Mondays with Mindy. It's a weekly show at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, where I talk about all things LinkedIn pipeline, promo, and profiles, what I call the 3 Ps of LinkedIn within the synergistic approach framework. So, do you have questions about LinkedIn? Please post them below, whether you're watching this live or from the replay. And be sure to like this post because that gives it a little more oomph on the socials. Leave your questions below and I'll answer them after the show or on a future episode of Mondays with Mindy. But let's get to today's topic. What are some really clever things that people often overlook on their LinkedIn profiles? If it's been a while since you've really taken a hard look at your LinkedIn profile, you may not realize the importance of keeping this up to date, keeping it compelling. Maybe you've tried to figure out how to update it and you model it after someone else you admire or follow online, but you're not sure if you've done it like exactly right. So you may also be trying to figure out how LinkedIn fits into the big picture of your entire personal brand and your online presence. Many experts I know who come to me for help on their profile, their presence, or their personal brand, they're a bit embarrassed when they say they feel like they are the industry's best kept secret. And it's not uncommon for them to have spent far too much time thinking about building a website or actually building it and spending weeks in that process. It can be long, or putting together their portfolio. But they have no idea that if they channeled all of that energy into just their LinkedIn profile as a starting point, that they'd be light years ahead. Did you know that LinkedIn has 722 million members and counting? All of them are focused on business, professional growth, their career, and networking with like minded professionals. So if your presence is subpar here on LinkedIn, you're missing out on a huge opportunity to reach your target market. And many professionals get sold on like the slick and sexy look of Instagram or the steadfastness of Facebook. But those channels are not actually the best place for them to drive business, to land their next opportunity, or get recognized by fellow industry professionals. How many professionals do you know who actually found their dream job or kickstarted a multi-million dollar deal from an Instagram DM? Think about it. Probably not that many, right? And you know how often these engagements happen on LinkedIn? Three new people get hired every single minute as a result of LinkedIn. And those mega deals start on LinkedIn all the time. I've got one in mail right now that needs a response for a social selling training for a large organization trying to bring their account managers up to speed. It happens like that all of the time because it's the right place. So if you've been wondering what's actually missing from your profile to start getting the results that you want, it's time to find out what. And let's do it together today. This is going to be a fun one. So, aloha for those who don't know me. My name is Mindy Rosser. I'm the founder of Mindy Rosser Marketing, and I have a soon to be launched beta program called the LinkedIn Accelerator for those who want to go from 0 to 60 on LinkedIn with their profile and network. I'll put the link below later if you're interested. I help superstars who feel they are the best kept secret in their industry to become the go to visible expert in their niche so they can get that next opportunity, grow their business, and scale their impact. In this live, we are going to talk about what exactly is missing from your LinkedIn profile and what is causing you to miss out on perfect fit opportunities for your business, for your career, and how you can make a few simple changes to attract the right people on LinkedIn. Are you ready? I am so ready. Let's do this. So, reminder, go ahead and like this post, whether you're live or watching from the replay, to give it some social love. All right, so one mistake that people make, I see all the time when it comes to updating their profile, is that they think they need to be an expert. writer to actually revamp their LinkedIn profile in a way that sings to their target audience. As a result, they either start scouring the interwebs for a plug and play copywriting formula to address every single part of their LinkedIn profile. Maybe that's how you found this video. I don't know. They also start looking for a LinkedIn profile copywriter who has a track record of working with industry experts and making them shine. And the good ones are really expensive. I'll just put that out there. Or they literally start copying and pasting sections from other people's profiles that they like, and they start tweaking the keywords to match their own, and it just doesn't feel right. The thing is, you are the best person to make your LinkedIn profile shine. Not that copywriter with a portfolio bursting with success stories, not another personal branding guru, not a LinkedIn expert, not even me, not me. What happens is that you don't feel aligned with your profile if you don't take that ownership. Something feels off and you're not proud to reach out. You're a little bit embarrassed to share content, to apply for that job, to get connected with people in your industry because you don't feel that it's an authentic representation of you as a professional. And that's exactly what your LinkedIn profile should be. It should feel really good to you. It should get across all of your strengths. It should help people understand where you're coming from. And if it doesn't do that, if it doesn't sing to you, it's not going to sing to anyone else. So instead, you might just either accept it as good enough. If you're like, "Oh, I'll just settle, my profile's all right," and look at other channels or cross your fingers, hoping people will figure it out and trust you regardless. Or you might just skip LinkedIn altogether because it just feels uncomfortable. Does this sound familiar? Have you ever had thoughts like this running through your head? I know I talk to people every single day that do. They come for help with their profiles and they're like, "Mindy, I just can't figure it out. I'm not sure where I should start. I see these really good profiles that I love and I can't figure out how to get mine to look like that." Or I really want to showcase my expertise. I'm trying to get that next job. I'm trying to land this big deal. I want to get the attention of my potential prospects and they just aren't paying attention. So, what if instead of trying to focus on somebody else taking ownership of your profile and making you look good, what if instead you decided to take 100% ownership of your own profile, equipped with the know how to optimize your profile and understand which sections to fix? Because it really is about taking 100% responsibility for your profile. It's yours. It should sound like you. You know yourself and your capabilities better than anyone. So, if you know how to write an email, you can rework your own LinkedIn profile. All right. So have a little bit of confidence in yourself that you can totally do this. All you need to know is what's missing to actually figure out what to fix and where you can start. So, owning your LinkedIn profile as your responsibility is about committing to yourself, to your career, to your personal brand, whether or not you have an amazing job or are looking to get a business off the ground or take your startup to the next level. LinkedIn is the place where professionals like you and me come to network with each other, explore doing good business with other good people, and focus on creating a better workplace and environment for ourselves and for others. So, own your LinkedIn profile. That's the takeaway. If there's just one thing you take away from this video today, it's that your profile is pretty darn special, and you are the one who can make it shine the brightest. So, this is how I approach LinkedIn. This is how I teach and coach my program members to see the platform. This is LinkedIn. It is special. So, let's talk through some really important sections on your LinkedIn profile that you definitely do not want to skip over. So, I'm going to actually share my screen here so you can see as we are going and different sections of the profile. So, I will scroll up a little bit so you can see better. Um, and feel free to take screenshots to reference later if that's actually helpful for you. So feel free to rewind and rewatch the replay if you would like. So the first thing we are going to focus on is your header image. This is one of the areas that if it is blank, you're going to immediately turn people away because they think you're not even on the platform. So only people who are like completely new to LinkedIn or are too busy to care, skip this section. So the LinkedIn header image is what you see right here at the top, which is where you see that master LinkedIn now behind my head. So put something there that speaks to your brand, that shows you in action, or that helps people to get a sense for your areas of expertise. This is a very important section and it kind of follows you all around LinkedIn. So if you are not familiar with the platform, basically that the headshot that you see there. And a little bit of that header image is going to follow you every time you comment, every time you engage on LinkedIn, if you're sending a connection invitation, these types of things, people are going to see that header image. So make sure it's not blank. I've had some clients that are like, I really don't know what to put here, but I don't want to leave it blank. What can you do? So an idea for that section is to put a skyline image of the, of a metropolitan area that's near you. So people actually will see something there. It's not the best, but it is a good placeholder while you're working on an image that will work well for your brand there. Okay. So the second thing to focus on is your LinkedIn headline. Now, if you've been following me for any length of time, you've probably heard me talk about the headline as your first impression. So you may not get it right that first time, but you can always change it down the road. So a lot of people will get hung up, and if they can't get that perfect formula, they get all worried and like, Mindy, I can't figure it out. I'm not sure. And so they just don't do anything. Focus on this section. It's really, really important. It follows you right alongside your name. So people see your name, they see that headline section everywhere on LinkedIn. So what you should do is just focus on a simple formula here, which is who you are, whom you help, how you help them, and the results that you generate. So those four things are what you're trying to get into this section. So make sure people understand who you are, whom you help, how you help them, and the results that you generate. You don't have to be crazy specific. Like, you don't have to say, I help people lose weight in 30 days. Like, it doesn't have to be that specific, but I think just giving people a sense of your uniqueness. Like, what I like to see in this section is, yes, you want to have the right keywords, those are important. But what's also important is, what are you doing that's a little bit different in the space? When people see, for mine, social selling strategist, they think of like salesy, like really focused on numbers, like spamming people. And I really don't want people to have that feeling. And so I play with the verbiage here and change it up to really match what my target audience would like to see. Okay, so play with this section. Sometimes it helps to get a few iterations of your headline going so you can kind of like sit with them for a day or two and see which one rings true for you. You have plenty of characters to work with here. So don't be afraid to get a little bit wordy if you feel like you need to get your message across. All right, so moving on down. Next, we're going to talk about the cover story and the name pronunciation section. So, if you are not incredibly savvy on LinkedIn, you may not know about this section. So, the cover story, you see this little area around my image, that little circle, you see how it's like that orange color. So, what it's trying to tell you is, if you hover over this on Mindy's profile, you will see a very short video pop up. And that's me saying, hello, I'm in Hawaii and I help people with LinkedIn. So that builds instant connection with people. And it's a powerful way to connect, to help people who don't know me or maybe came across a piece of my content and are like, oh, who is this Mindy person? I don't know who she is. And they see it and I'm waving and I'm friendly. So this is a way to just start building that trust. And most people do not use it. So to use it, what you will need to do is you will need to pull out your mobile phone and go into LinkedIn, make sure you're logged in, and then go to your profile. And if you have it, LinkedIn will prompt you to do a cover video and say, hey, do you want to do a cover video? So it's 15 seconds. You can record it right on your phone. It doesn't take that long. Now, if you don't have that option yet, I know LinkedIn is still rolling it out. There is that name pronunciation, which is right next to my name. So you see that like little icon. It looks like a little speakerphone. That is available to everyone on LinkedIn. This is a really good way to build some trust too. It's only like 6 seconds long, so you can't put a lot there unless you talk really, really fast. But you can actually start telling people who you are. You don't have to use it for your name pronunciation if you don't want to. I do not. I actually tell people who I am and who I help. So I use that to just emphasize what's in my headline a bit more. And I change it up periodically. So this is another way to build that trust. And it takes 6 seconds. I mean, it may take you a few minutes to think about what you want to say. It doesn't take that long. And people love to click on this. They hear your voice. There's something really special about when people hear your voice, and there's a connection that can be built here. So use that section. It's often overlooked and people just kind of pass on by if they don't have a hard to pronounce name. All right. So moving on to the fourth one. This is called digital creator mode. Now, looking at my profile, you see like all of those little hashtags underneath my headline. This is telling you that I have digital creator mode turned on. So, what is digital creator mode? You can kind of see it in the screen here underneath my dashboard, where it says grow your audience and get discovered by highlighting content on your profile. So, what it does is it actually makes the content that you're sharing a little more visible. It also shares the hashtags that you want people to know that you talk about. So, topics that you care about, it makes those very visible on your profile. The downside to digital creator mode is that it makes it tougher for people to connect with you. So you really have to think about what you're weighing, what's more important. Do you want your content to be a little bit more visible? If you are sharing a lot of content on LinkedIn, turning on digital creator mode can be helpful because your profile shows a lot more content than other people. So if we scroll down here under the activity section, you can see that I have 6 things that are visible. If I did not have digital creator mode turned on, there would only be 4 things visible. So it just shows a bit more of my content and adds those hashtags. But again, the downside is it makes it difficult for people to connect with me. When they want to connect, the buttons that are showing up here, you do not see the connect button. It suggests that you follow me versus connect with me. So really think about what you're trying to do. If you really want to build your network, if you're really focused on the network building and not so much on the personal branding side of things, then you might want to keep it turned off. But you can play with it. You can always turn it on and off. And you can see right here, if I clicked on this where it says on the digital creator mode section, this would allow me to turn it off or on. So you can toggle it off, toggle it on at any point in time. But really good to explore if you are trying to build a stronger brand and want people to pay attention to your content. So, what to do with this? Decide what your goal is for LinkedIn. Are you trying to build your network? Then maybe leave it off for now. Are you trying to really build your following? So, you want people to follow you, you want them to engage with your content? Then try turning it on and see what happens. You may notice a change on this dashboard. We see my dashboard in search appearances and who's viewed your profile as a result. So just pay attention to those metrics to see if it's working for you and if you're happy with those numbers. If you notice a big change up or down, then you'll know that it was likely related to turning on digital creator mode. All right, so moving on to number 5, we're gonna take a drink here. This is your about section. Okay, so let's scroll down so you can see my about. When you are on LinkedIn, you should very much pay attention to the about section. It is critical. A lot of people will skip over it because, as you can see, there are a lot of words here. And sometimes words are a little bit scary and we think, I don't know exactly what to put there. So if your section is blank, if you don't have one yet, if you've just copy and pasted like a bio from somewhere else and put it here, you just want to make a note to revisit this section at some point because it is critical. It really helps people understand your story, who you are, who you help, how you help them. How did you get from there to here? How did you become an expert in your niche? What's special about what you do? What's your secret sauce? What's your perspective? Can you let us into your mind a little bit more? This is where you get creative with connecting with people and helping them understand you and how they can connect with you as a fellow professional, as a potential client, as a potential prospect, as somebody that might hire you for a job or a position. So get this section dialed in. There is a lot that goes into this section. Just know that if this is a priority for you, you want to come back to it. And I actually have a plug and play templated formula within the LinkedIn Accelerator, which I'll tell you about at the end. So if this is something you really want to get dialed in, that will help you a ton because you don't have any blank spaces and you'll know exactly what to plug into each and every section on your about to make it awesome. Okay. So just pay attention to your about. If you don't have one, make a note to come back to it at a future point in time. All right, so let's talk about the featured section next. This is this section here, where it says featured, and you can see 3 things here. So you see the first 2, and then you see another kind of a snippet of something. So it's nice to have 2 to 3 items here. I recommend that everyone has a featured section. So if you do not have one right now, start up a featured section. If you post it on LinkedIn, you'll be able to feature any of those posts and put them in this section to make sure it's not blank. You can also upload a lot of different things here. You can upload PDFs, media, videos. You can link to things that are elsewhere. You can link to your website, your portfolio. If you have a lead magnet of some sort, you can put that here as well. You just want to be very, very thoughtful and make sure that it's visual. You want people to see this section and connect and see, oh, what you say is actually interesting to me. Yes, what you say leads to what I see in your headline. It's what you're talking about in your about section. It's the type of activity that I see below. It all matches and it's visual. You want to choose some bright colors in here and really make it visually appealing to people. So there's a lot that I could say about the featured section, but I'll just cut it short there. So what to do? 2 to 3 things in your featured section. Try to pick stuff that is pretty, that is easy to look at. It's nice if there are images of you, if you feel comfortable putting videos and such. That can be really helpful in this section to just build that trust. All right. And last but not least, that we're going to talk about today is the recommendations. So we're going to have to scroll all the way to the bottom to get to recommendations. They are found at the bottom of your profile. So ask yourself, when is the last time you received a professional recommendation from someone? If it's been more than a year, you actually need to start getting some recommendations. So I like to recommend 1 to 2 new recommendations every single year. It's helpful because it shows that you're current and people see this. They will scroll through these. If they're really interested in you and what you stand for, who you are, they're going to look here and they look at the dates. So you can see like the dates here. It's like, okay, I've had 2 within the past 12 months. That's great. That's what I'm shooting for. And then you can also see what the recommendations I've given. So then it's like, okay, she's received 20, but she's given 37. That's great. She looks like a trustworthy person. So this recommendation section is very important, especially when you are either switching careers, new to the field, looking for a new opportunity. You want these recommendations to align with whatever you are focused on next professionally. So get a friendly or two, a colleague, another professional in the industry, somebody who enjoys your content to give you a recommendation. All right, that's really, really important. So if these look a little bit outdated on your profile, what to do? Ask for one new recommendation from someone that you know, and it wouldn't be a big deal for them to give you a recommendation. Okay, so that's it. How do you feel? I know we covered a lot on today's live. So feel free to go back, watch the replay. If there's any section that you liked in particular or that you really want to update, just take some screenshots if you need to and make some notes. So that's only 7 of the sections to fix on LinkedIn. And there are definitely others that will transform your ho-hum profile into one that instantly engages and inspires. But if you're just starting to improve your LinkedIn profile, don't be overwhelmed. Just pick one. Pick one thing from today that you can either add to or update on your profile. And that's it. Just one. All right. Once you get that profile looking rock solid, you'll be able to start building your network. Not be afraid to put yourself out there to attract those opportunities and get new connections. So if you're looking for that extra edge, you're like, okay, Mindy, this is great, but I need some help, like walking through all of these sections. That's what I'm here for. I can help you with that. If you're looking for that extra edge, I'm in the process of putting together a small beta group program called the LinkedIn Accelerator, which is tailored to take you through all of these 7 sections I covered today and the rest of them that we didn't cover today in just 5 days flat. So 1 week, literally 1 week, you start with a ho-hum profile. By the end of the week, it looks awesome. You're already building your connections and you are learning how to reach out to people on LinkedIn. So I really wanted to make it fast and I wanted to make it more of a sprint than a long slog through a course or program. So you can see the link there. If you want to get on the wait list, details are coming this week. Super excited. So doors officially open this week and you'll want to get your spot if you're interested. It will fill up fast. So I will see you next week on Mondays with Mindy, where we'll be diving a bit more into the importance of your personal brand on LinkedIn. This one's going to be a good one. No matter whether you're a professional and you're happy with your job or you are trying to build your business, your personal brand is critical. So feel free to leave questions or comments below, and my inbox is open if you want to message me directly. And mahalo, I will see you next week. And somebody asked about what does mahalo mean? Mahalo is like a very, very strong thank you in Hawaiian. So mahalo until next time.